Very common misconception is that Israel occupies Gaza. So to clarify, in 2005, Israel had decided to make a one-sided withdrawal from Gaza in the hopes that they will be able to make this place a well-developed area. The plan was, and this was a very common conception back there. It was, we will make Gaza into, I think, was the Singapore of the Middle East, and Israel withdrew from Gaza. And since then, Gaza received billions of dollars in funding and donations from so many countries, and these are all facts. And essentially what ended up happening is that the only thing that Israel got was missiles. So Israel has no control over Gaza. Israel does not occupy Gaza. They were supposed to essentially govern themselves. However, what happened is that Hamas took over through elections or forcefully, depends how you look at it, but Hamas took over, held the entire population as hostage. And now these are the consequences of what happens when Hamas is governing these people for so many years. So what happened was that the Israelis have been getting these missiles shot at them for almost 20 years now. Gaza has another border. So Israel decided to close the border with Gaza so that people from Gaza cannot enter, although it was allowing some people to enter to Israel and work in Israel, because the conception in Israel was, we thought that, okay, if we will enable them to have a good life and work here, so it will probably improve the situation. But that conception just blew up, completely blew up. And then essentially Gaza also has a border with Egypt, and they also decided to close that border. So Israel does not control Gaza. Gaza was supposed to govern itself, but this is what Hamas did. Essentially, they just took over and they made this place into a terrorism greenhouse. This is what happened. So Israel is not occupying Gaza. As of 2005, Israel left Gaza. That's it. Simple as that. So Free Palestine, just to clarify, the Israelis, the overwhelming majority of Israelis, have no problem with freeing Palestine. There is no intention to, Israel does not benefit anything from the Palestinians' current situation. We do not benefit. It's just a headache. This is the truth. So the Palestinians were actually offered to get their own land, get their own country 5 times, to establish a state 5 times throughout history. 1936, 1947, 1967, they rejected another option. 2000, 2008. What we actually want right now is to free the Palestinians from Hamas. Hamas is the destruction for Palestinians. We're trying to free them from Hamas because the only thing they brought to the Palestinians is sorrow, misery, death, destruction, and terror. They just took all the money that they received, they took all the infrastructures, and instead of investing it in the population, instead of investing it in their people, in their own people, develop the area, what they did is they invested every single dollar they received into building terrorism infrastructure, and to just try to kill as many Israelis, as many Jews as possible. So to them, to the extremists, Free Palestine means one thing. This is the truth. This is what it means. It means exterminate the Jewish state of Israel. So when these people scream and call Free Palestine, this is what they mean. This is why you hear from the river to the sea. If you ever heard that term, from the river to the sea means that there is no Israel. This is the intention behind it. So just to clarify, even if Israel only had one street, even if you could, the only thing that the Israelis would have is one street in this whole land, this would be considered occupation to these extremists, because this is the intention. So we are trying to actually liberate the Palestinians. We are trying to liberate them from this pathetic, low-level regime of Hamas. Okay, so this is a very common scammy claim that is coming from Hamas, from its propaganda. What they're trying to do, and if they're even trying to do this right now, is the Israelis as a policy and as a moral policy, This is our moral compass. We are trying to do whatever is possible, even if it includes risking the success of our operations, even if it includes risking our own lives and our soldiers' lives. We're doing everything in our power to avoid civilian casualties in the Palestinian side. So even right now, when Israel is targeting infrastructures of Hamas and Islamic Jihad, they are indicated, they are telling the civilians, they're telling the population in Gaza, leave your house, leave your house. And what Hamas is doing, they're trying to force them to stay. They're actually putting roadblocks to prevent them from leaving, because what they want is they want the images of dead Palestinians. To them, it's not enough to have dead Jewish people or dead Israelis. By the way, also Israeli Muslims also died in the massacres that they did right now. So to them, that's not enough. They want as many people as possible dead on both sides. So if anyone is trying to have Palestinians dead, is Hamas, 100%. We're doing everything in our power to prevent to avoid civilian casualties. Right now, the Israelis have been telling the civilians in Gaza, the population, leave the area. They're telling them right before they're striking to leave the area and giving them time to flee. They gave them now, I think it's 2 days to flee. And Hamas is just trying to prevent that, which is a disaster. They are the ones trying to hold these people hostages and trying to hurt them.